not stuck here. The cops won't bother me. So guys, one of the things I'm going to be doing is removing the front wheel and putting a CRF rim. And I have two rims, but I'm going to be putting on just a regular one for now. And I want to see if I can ride tomorrow off-road. So let's go ahead and get started taking the front wheel off. It should be fairly simple. On this side of the wheel, I have a much bigger front rotor that I would have to remove and put in the other wheel, but the other wheel has got a rotor. So what I'm thinking about doing is just putting this out and removing the caliper itself, the extender. That way I can just keep reusing this. 10 millimeters on both of this side. Fairly easy change. There we go. This is a 22 millimeter. All right, here we go. Push up on this. No, it'll come out. So I decided to remove the rotor because there's a whole process. So what I might do is order another set of the large rotors. Just like doing other stuff on a bike that you don't know much about, the previous owner made this caliper pad so tight I can't really remove this. So because I want to ride tomorrow, I bolted the supermoto disc onto the knobby, which doesn't look too cool, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it onto the bike. Did manage to get the wheel in there. Now let's get the put this bolt. All right, the front tire is in. Let's move on to the rear tire. So this one's got some complexities. You know, you got the chain. You also have a rotor. But my rear wheel does not have a rotor, so I'm hoping that this one is the same size and I can just fit it onto the rear wheel. Fine, be that way. I can't change into the dirt tires because the bushings are wrong. The bushings, which are these things on the side, they're specific to the wheel, and I don't know exactly. This might be a xr650r rear wheel, and it comes with these spacings and bushings. But unfortunately, the previous owner did not include the bushings for here, so I have to order them. But most of my time today was trying to get the sprockets off, the rotors off. I think if I keep the bike, and I am planning on keeping the bike, I need to order a new set of sprockets and rotors. That way I don't have to keep going back and forth with swapping them. It takes way too long to swap them, so I think I'm just going to order a set of them and just leave them around in the other wheels. The bike is on a bucket right now, waiting for spacers. Last minute, I put the supermoto wheels back on because on the regular wheels, everything fits. But the only problem that I have is that the disc rotors do not fit. So that's one thing that I was planning on getting, because the bike, it's kind of a pain to go from the supermoto wheels to the dirt wheels and then having to switch out the discs and the sprockets. And I think what I want to do is get all the equipment for the dirt wheel so I don't have to do that. It'll be just a simple swap, because what really takes a long time with me is the rotors and the sprocket removal. But you know, it's not like I care too much about removing the supermoto wheels and stuff. I do like this as a supermoto, but I was kind of hoping to go dirt riding pretty soon. But I did buy the spacers, and that was like 30 bucks. But then I found out that the rotors, or actually it's the other, actually I just need to put it on that one. The rotors, the rear wheel, do not fit. So the current rotor on the bike is a warp rotor, and I basically need a different rotor for this warp 9 wheel. So these are things that you learn as you go, but I do have three wheel sets, or two wheel sets for the dirt, and I put the XR650r front on there, and it fits fine. It just this uses a different spacer, but yeah, the bike starts up, it rides well. Supermoto is really good on this bike. It's a really badass bike, that's the thing. I don't, and I'm actually much more comfortable riding this thing on the street than I am off-road. It's a manageable bike on the street, but off-road, it's quite a workout. And I think if I do get a off-road bike, it has to be a 250 or 450, like a WR450. This bike is fully capable of riding dirt. It's such a large bike. It is, there's a reason they call it the big red pig.